As I walk on the beach here in Mandvi, the port in Kutch from where many a hopeful Khoja pioneer sailed to seek new opportunities in a new land, I could not help but reflect upon the tenacity of our forefathers braving monsoons on the Indian Ocean in single-sail dhows. What motivated them to leave their ancestral lands and undertake this journey? How did these folks with a Hindu heritage convert to what they are today? Ithnashri Khoja, Sunni Khoja, and Ismaili Khoja. This is the famous area of Dongri here, a bustling part of Mumbai. One could call this the epicenter of the Khoja Shia Ithnashri community. Major events occurred here in the mid-1800s, eventually leading to the development of the three distinct Khoja communities as we know them today. In those days, the Palagali Dongri areas were known as leading trade centers of the growing Mumbai metropolis. This bustling area had one of the largest concentrations of Khojas outside Kutch and Kathiawar, and hence it was rightfully known as the Khoja Mohalla. There is so much Khoja history all over Dongri. When walking around the Dongri area, I found three historic monuments located within walking distance of each other: the Khoja Ismailiya Jamaat Khana, the Khoja Sunni Masjid, and the Khoja Shia Ithnashri Masjid. They look strikingly similar with the early 20th century Indo-Muslim architecture. As I trace my steps to the Khoja monuments in Dongri, my first port of call is the Khoja Ismailiya Jamaat Khana, where once all Khojas worshipped together until the arrival of the Aga Khan in the mid-1900s. Interestingly, the pulpit or the mimbar here at the Dongri Jamaat Khana is dedicated to Hazrat Abbas. It still remains an important stop for all Khojas in the area to come and pay their respects, especially in the month of Muharram, when the martyrdom of Imam Hussein is commemorated. The Sunni Masjid here in Dongri is my next stop. The revolt around mid-1850s by some Khoja families against paying the son or 10% tithe to the Aga Khan had led to the first crack in the community. Subsequently, in the wake of the judgment of the 1866 Khoja case, the descending Khojas acquired a plot of land and built the masjid here in Tantanpura Street in Dongri. The Mughal Masjid established by the Persian community here in Dongri provides a rare insight into the early Khoja history and the clash of culture and faith. As I walk past the India office of the World Federation is the Khoja Shia Ithnashri Masjid. It was established after the second split in the latter part of the 19th century. In 1860, some Khojas went for a pilgrimage to the holy city of Karbala. A chance meeting between Devji Jamal, a wealthy Khoja businessman, and a South Indian scholar by the name of Mullah Qadar Hussain was to have a long-lasting impact on the Khoja community. The group was introduced to the prominent Shia scholar of the time by the name of Ayatollah Zainul Abidin Mazandarani. During their discussions, it emerged that the Khoja Ismaili Satpanthi beliefs were not quite in keeping with Shia doctrine. As a result, at the behest of Ayatollah Mazandarani and the financial support by Devji Jamal, Mullah Qadar Hussain arrived in Mumbai. His preaching set in motion the conversion of many Khojas across Sindh, Kutch, Kathiawar, and East Africa, and thus evolved the Khoja Shia Ithnashri community as we know it today. The growing number of converts to the Ithnashri faith led to the establishment of a separate Ithnashri Jamaat in 1899 and ultimately the Shia Ithnashri Masjid here in Dongri. With the establishment of the Jamaat and this masjid, tremendous tensions ensued within the Khoja community. Families were torn apart, business relations were severed, and friendships broken. Many luminaries of the Khoja community rest here in Arambagh, including famous literary figures like Shaida, Barkat Ali Befam, and many prominent community leaders. As the tensions between the two communities increased, this resulted in the assassination of two very important personalities in our community. They are none other than Lalji Bhai Sajan and Hirji Alarakhya, and I sit at their graveside right behind me here in the Arambagh Qabristan here in Mumbai. I cannot help but reflect that it is the blood of these two shuhada who were instrumental in establishing the roots of our community. Amongst the many personalities who rest here in the Arambagh Qabristan here in Mumbai is one personality whose name is Ratanbai Jinnah. Of course, this is the wife of the founder of Pakistan, Muhammad Ali Jinnah. Sadly, there is one person who too gave his life for the community. He lies not here, but in a lonely grave some few miles away. His name is Killu Khatau. Killu Khatau was sent by the Ismailis to kill Qadar Hussain, but having observed how pious the man was, Killu Khatau became his ardent supporter and biggest protector. After he was repeatedly taunted by the Ismailis for being a traitor to the cause, Killu, an emotional man, lost his cool and ended up killing one of the Ismaili leaders, for which he was hanged.
Our story began some 650 years ago upon the arrival of a mystic by the name of Sadr Din in the region of Sindh, located between the current borders of Pakistan and India. Here Sadr Din settled in Sindh, where he lived among the rich Hindu. Thakurs believed that the Hindu god Lord Vishnu had lived through 9 incarnations on this earth, and that they were waiting for the 10th. Sadr Din successfully convinced them that he brought with him the good tidings of the coming of the 10th incarnation of Lord Vishnu they were waiting for, and his name was Ali. This was his way of converting a number of Lohana Thakurs to a new faith called Satpanth, meaning true path. The new faith of Satpanth needed a new identity. Here Sadr Din obliged and bestowed upon these converts a new title. They were no longer to call themselves Thakurs. Instead, they would now be addressed with the honorific title of Khoja, a Persian word close to the meaning of the word Thakur. This name, Khoja, eventually became Khoja. Many of Sadr Din's teachings also survive through ginans, or hymns, which have for long been a central part of the religious practices of the Khoja Ismaili community.
The reverence with which the Khojas held their peers, as narrated in this Ginan, is also illustrated by the magnificent shrines dotted around Sindh, Kutch and Kathiawar, such as the one here in Kera. Rajabai Hashim, the president of the Kutch Federation, talks to me about the shrine of Pir Ghulam Ali Shah here in Kera.
લગભગ 300 વર્ષ પહેલાં પીર ગુલામ અલી શાહ અહીં આવ્યા અને આવીને સિંધમાંથી કચ્છમાં આવ્યા અને કચ્છમાં એને કેરાની પ્રજા સાથે બહુ હેત અને મોહબત લાગી ગઈ એટલે કેરામાં રહેવાનું પસંદ કર્યું અને આ પંજેતરની દરગાહ સામે દેખાય છે. એ પંજેતરની દરગાહ પોતે તેઓની હયાતીમાં બનાવી છે. હિન્દુની આરતી પૂજા કરાવી આપણી કોમને. આરતીની પૂજા સાથે સાથે એને દુઆના પાઠ ચાલુ કરાવ્યા. દુઆ પણ આરતીને લગતી જ હતી. પછી આ બે પ્રક્રિયાઓમાં આસ્તે આસ્તે પછી આરતીને ધીમી કરતા ગયા અને દુઆના પાઠને વજન આપતા ગયા. વધારે પડતા પાઠ બોલાવવામાં આવ્યા. પછી જ્યારે એમાં આ હિન્દુની કોમ સેટ થઈ ગઈ ત્યારે પછી આ આરતીને બંધ કરી નાખી અને દુઆના પાઠ ફક્ત ચાલુ રાખ્યા.
Mohsin Dharamsi, a long-time friend and a colleague who has shared many a journey with me, including this one in Kutch, reflects on the vision of our ancestors.
And they worked on vision. There was no question of feasibility studies. There was no question of producing enormous amounts of paperwork before making a decision. You look at the things that did, that hospital we have seen, and the eye hospital, and the land that they used. And they tied the hospital with a school, and thinking of the patients, and to have a musafir khana with it, to have a prayer house for them. But as I've come more and more to Kutch, and I've met the people here, and I've seen what our ancestors in Kutch have done, it really makes you proud that they had the vision.
This vision that Mohsin discusses has many lessons for generations to come. It is all the more important to go back in history in order to appreciate and understand our heritage. We're here at the Khoja, which is the Amba Chowk area of Bhavnagar. This area is the center of activities of our community here in Bhavnagar. The area dates back to the very evolution of the community in the 1800s. While the Shia community struggled to gain a foothold in Mumbai, students of Mullah Qadir Hussain spread out to the neighboring communities in Gujarat like Bhavnagar, Maua and Ahmedabad. Masum Ali Bojani, a prominent member of the Bhavnagar community, talks about Janabnu Makan here in Bhavnagar. આપણે આ જે જનાબનું મકાન કહેવાય છે એના ઉપર તમે થોડો પ્રકાશ પાડશો.
જનાબનું મકાન જે છે એ જ્યારે આપણે ઇસ્માઇલીઓથી અલગ થયા એ સમયે જે છે મરહુમ હાજી દેવજીભાઈ ગુલામ હુસેને જે છે આખી જગા અને એની પર બિલ્ડિંગ પણ બનાવી આપ્યું હતું અને એ જે છે કિમ્માબોડો એ જમાનામાં એણે બનાવી આપ્યો હતો કે જ્યારે આપણે ઇસ્માઇલીઓથી જુદા પડ્યા કે જેથી કરીને આપણા શિયા લોકોને કોઈ એનાથી મોહતાજી ન રહે.
One of the most prominent students of Mullah Qadir, by the name of Ghulam Ali Ismail, popularly known as Haji Naji, took up residence in Bhavnagar. His efforts were instrumental in winning over many Ismaili Khoja families to the Shia Ithnashri faith, even beyond the city of Bhavnagar.
હાજી નાજી સાહેબની જે સેવાઓ છે એવી અજોડ છે અને અમારા માટે તો એટલી વધારે અજોડ છે. હાજી નાજી સાહેબનું રાહે નજાત કરીને એક માસિક અખબાર આવતું હતું એમાંથી મારા દાદાએ થોડું થોડું વાંચીને પછી હાજી નાજી સાહેબનું કુરાને શરીફ મગાવ્યું ટ્રાન્સલેશનવાળું અને એ કુરાને શરીફનો પ્રભાવ એના પર એટલો બધો પડ્યો કે એ લોકો લગભગ 50% જેવું મારા દાદા આવી ગયા.
In the following decades, while Haji Naji and other students of Mullah Qadir Hussain were busy in conveying the message of the Itna Ashari faith, the Khoja community was undergoing another change. Many Khojas were choosing to migrate from the Indian subcontinent to the east coast of Africa. As the long-lasting spate of droughts continued to take a heavy toll upon the people of Kutch and Kathiawar, in common with their compatriots, the Khojas began to migrate in ever-increasing numbers in search for livelihood in eastern Africa.
I always wondered as to how our forefathers traveled from the interior towns and villages of Kutch and Kathiawar to the ports of Porbandar and Manvi to embark on these dhows going to eastern Africa. To find out, I visited a farm near Talaja, some 30 miles west of Bhavnagar. That a typical journey on these bullock carts would take at least 2 to 3 days. The bulls continued traveling at night while the passengers enjoyed a night's sleep. This is because the bulls are known to unwaveringly travel on a straight path once the direction is set. Indeed, an important lesson in vision for the community.